Hello, everybody. I'm here with Calvin, our farrier.
How's it going?
So Calvin comes out, and trims and shaws our horses, put shoes on, and we have a pretty consistent, regular schedule with horse trimming. Do you want to talk a little bit about like how trimming and shoes work and the schedule of
Sure.
that for?
Yeah. So most everybody goes on a 6 to 8 week schedule. I keep them on that. That way I can get to everybody on a regular basis and nobody gets behind. Plus it's important to get them done regularly to keep the angles right, keep the shoes on. I mean, after 8 weeks, things start loosening up, shoes will start falling off, stuff like that. So it's important to keep them on a regular basis, so then everything's good all the time, hopefully.
And you do what's called a natural balance trim shoeing. What is different about that than other type of
natural
farrier work?
balance came about by Gene Obenek. He did studies on wild horses and looked how their feet naturally trim themselves in the wild, and then he came up with this concept. It's more of a square-toed type deal, a shorter toe than the conventional shoeing, and a balance. It just balances the foot out from the middle of the foot forward and the middle of the foot back. It should be pretty close to the same. You know, the round shoes you can still balance them out. I still use round shoes quite a bit. But if you don't use the natural balance concept, a lot of times you'll get that toe run out too far, and then you get into other issues, navicular problems, laminitis.
So if their toe is too long, that's what you mean by run out?
If their toe's too long, sometimes they'll run out and their angles will be off. If
Like their angles of their ankle?
Yeah. So
Essentially, yeah.
Essentially, right.
Yeah.
So it's just like a person, if you had, you don't want too much in your heel, you'll be walking on your toe all the time.
Like high heels.
Yeah, like high heels.
Who wears those?
Right. I mean, imagine trying to run in something like that. Or
can't even imagine walking in something like that.
Me either. Or same thing with the toe. If your toe's too long, it'd be like walking around with a board on your foot. You know what I mean? So
Clown shoes.
Clown shoes. Right.
Yeah, a little like.
And if they get laminitis, that can roll into other things.
And what's laminitis?
Laminitis is the lamina in the foot holds the wall to the rest of the foot. So it's pretty much the same stuff that holds your fingernail on. If you can picture that. So if
that connects your fingernail to your
finger,
to your thumb or your finger there, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So now if you want to know what it feels like to have kind of a long toe with a laminitic horse, just hook your fingernail and pull on that all the time. And that would, it sore.
Put some pressure there, yeah.
And then that lamina will stretch out, and it kind of looks like almost like hair, really, when it should be just a nice solid white line. And then you can get white line disease from that. Bacteria gets up in that lamina and starts eating that way up, and then you got to cut the whole wall off. It's a mess.
Isn't that what Terran's horse had?
Terran's horse had some of that when she bought him.
Yeah.
And white line disease isn't just necessarily from laminitis. It can be from other things.
Okay.
But that laminitis is a bad deal.
Yeah.
So, and founder, they can tend to founder maybe a little bit easier with laminitis. Sometimes founder causes laminitis. There's a lot of different issues there. But too long of a toe is just generally bad.
Yeah.
Just bad.
And so you're coming for shoes now. We have you planned out for every 6 weeks?
I think Taryn and I planned 7 weeks.
7
We're gonna
weeks?
Try 7, and if that's too long, we'll bump it back.
Okay.
And then if not, we'll bump it forward.
And then Chief, is he going to be on that 7-week schedule, or is he going to be at the 8?
We'll reassess Chief at 7.
Okay.
And I would guess we'd probably bump him out to 8 or 9 at least. Chief's issue is he just doesn't grow much foot at all. He has a really flat foot, so he doesn't grow any heel. So to keep his angle steep enough is a challenge. And also to bring his toe back. He grows a lot of toe, and if you bring too much of that back, he goes
It's like
lame.
cutting your fingernail too short.
Too
It
short,
hurts.
right? It
Yeah.
hurts.
Because
So
he's been kind of our special case, and
yeah, he has.
How to treat
he's kind of a hard one, and when you run into everything, like, just like people have different shaped feet. But the problem with flat-footed horses also, they're usually fairly thin-soled, so they're more prone for stone bruises, and they just more sensitive on rocks and stuff. They don't have the cup in there to absorb the rocks and stuff like that. It's just sole right on the ground. So in the past with Chief, we put some padding material in there to help cushion that.
yeah, it was like a sole,
Yeah.
basically, kind of a rubbery.
It's kind of like a tennis shoe.
Yeah.
Is what it's like. This today I didn't do that because he had grown some heel in the winter, so I just put a shoe on and left all the heel I could, and he
Yeah.
seemed to do well after
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah,
we
we took
might
him on
keep
a
doing that.
ride, and he was doing good.
Yeah.
Just wanted to keep going.
That's good. I like it when they want to run. So,
Yeah.
So.
So should we look at Chief and maybe another horse that's whose feet are the best?
The best footed horse is probably like Rocket's feet are pretty good, and Monty's feet he has pretty good feet.
So maybe I'll grab one of them, and you can grab Chief, and then we can
Yeah.
maybe do a little comparing
Yeah, we can do that. Sure.
and see if what we can, what the camera can see.
Yeah.
She's a hairy lady. Hey, Romeo. Rocket, you want to be on camera? Huh? Yeah. Come on. Oh. I don't know the best angle to get for the feet, because that camera will probably be able to get the closest.
This one? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to go in the arena to do it?
Yeah, we
or-
can go in the arena and then just
Okay.
kind of hold them.
Okay, let me get a knife
Come here.
and stuff here. Here, bud.
Do you have nice feet? You got some good feet, Rocket.
Okay. So I can probably hold them.
Okay.
Okay, so Chief's feet. This Chief here. Get it cleaned
So
out.
we'll get, like, Jake will get a minute to try to get in a close up on Chief's foot there.
Okay, let me get it cleaned out so we can see what's going on in here.
Buddy.
Okay, can you see what that looks like?
Oh, don't bite him. Rocket, you gotta stay out of the way here.
Okay, so Chief's feet here, you can really see that I got this toe pulled really far back on him. The shoe is almost actually touching the frog, and that's just try to get his angle up.
And
then
show us what the frog is.
okay, so this is the frog right here, this triangle shaped out deal. That's a pump. So every time he steps on this, it pumps blood back up his leg. So it's important for it to be a nice healthy frog, but you have to trim on it a little bit because you can get, it's prone for thrush and stuff in here. Stuff gets stuck in there.
And what's thrush?
Thrush is like, it's kind of a bacterial deal. It happens in wet wet a lot, or if stuff gets trapped, it's kind of like athlete's foot, but nastier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It smells really bad.
Smells real bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see how flat he is, though. There's no cup in this foot. It's just
Straight across.
just straight across, and we got a little cushion, a little gap underneath the shoe right here, which is good. And usually,
Oh, right there between.
yeah,
At
I
the
don't know
toe
if they
there,
can
it'd
see
be
it,
hard,
but right
yeah.
here,
Did you have to put anything in there, or was his
I
foot just?
didn't. I got him. He had enough foot growth that I
Oh,
was
good.
able to get it like that. And then I left all this heel on to try to get him to stand up a little bit on his feet.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit more angle. But he has a healthy frog, but he just, you know, and most of this, why he has flat foot, that's just genetic. I mean, that's just something he's born with.
He was made that way.
He's made that way. But, so we're looking at this angle right here to try to get it the same angle as this angle from his ankle down. We'd like it to be a nice straight shot,
Okay.
more or less. Okay, that's what we're shooting for, which we got him pretty close for Chief. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been
Yeah,
a tough case.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, and so
now we'll look
Rocket-
at Rocket, who's got some nice healthy feet
So
here.
Rocket, he wears a lot of his toe off himself. So
And that's
okay,
just how he walks. He
That's-
kind of rolls over his toe.
Yeah, that's how he walks. That's how his feet naturally wear, and he grows a lot of heel. So he's way easier than Chief, and he's just got a nice, healthier foot. So I just threw a round shoe on him. He
Does
didn't.
Chief not have a round shoe?
Chief has a square-toed shoe,
Oh,
a natural
okay.
balance shoe,
And that's so that he'll roll over that front of the shoe.
to move his toe back more. Yeah,
Okay.
move that breakover back a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But since Rocket, he wears his toe off so well, I don't have to worry about bringing his toe back like everybody else
Okay.
as much. Plus, he grows a lot of heel and stuff. Now, I didn't take a lot of sole out of him because it's springtime, and everything's soft now anyway, so I don't want to get too crazy and carve all that out when it's nice and soft. You know, I don't want him to get stone bruised and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of harder to see, but he has a lot more cup here than Chief does.
So it indents more from the
Yeah.
edge down into the frog.
Right, it's kind of more of a nice slope. Like I said, I didn't cut all this sole out. It wasn't necessary this time.
But you can cut out more of that?
Yeah,
Sometimes you do.
I will in the summer,
Okay.
but right now when it's so soft, I'll leave it
Okay.
just for a little more protection and stuff. So, and especially the first shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So, this shoe is just a nice round shoe, and he has a nice conformed foot. Everything is pretty easy there.
Hey, I wonder if I
compared
can get Chief, if you hold Rocket's foot,
Yep.
and we can just look at them side by side,
to- Okay.
see if I can get him walk a little bit closer to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's stick your butt out here a little bit. There you go. All right.
Okay.
Good boy. All right, so
There you
he's
go.
got the
You got
flatter, and that's a
square
lot.
toe and versus a round toe.
Yeah.
Right. You can see how much more heel I left on him. See how the heels are kind of a little bit more forward than they are as far back as, you know, see where the hoof meets the heel of the shoe?
Mm-hmm.
On Rocket's way back here, and on Chief is way up here.
Right, he's got this,
Mm-hmm.
the shoe comes back behind.
On a
Sorry.
healthy footed horse, you would want to bring this heel, you'd cut this heel off right here.
So it's right with the
It's
shoe.
with the shoe. But on him, we cheat a little bit. We try to get him stood up more so that.
And so that's so he's
That's-
essentially wearing a little bit of a heel.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. So that he's not stretching tendons and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Cupid.
anyway, I mean, this kind of, you can definitely tell which one's the better foot, for sure. So, but we're gaining on Chief. We're getting the right combination.
that's
He's
good.
feeling better. So.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we like to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want healthy feet.
Yeah.
Good boy, thank you. And how long have you been doing farrier work?
Well, for a livings for about 8 years,
Uh-huh.
and shod my first horse when I was 12. So
Okay.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really started getting into it about, I don't know, 10 years ago, I guess. Started getting into the more, being able to fix stuff, like Chief and stuff like that, you
Yeah.
know.
Going to different.
It's a lot of experience.
Is it clinics? Do they do clinics
and I
classrooms?
traveled with some people, some guys that did it. And and watched videos and did some research, what works, what doesn't work, you know.
Yeah.
Called guys. Sometimes, you know, you run into something where you don't know, you know, I've never seen this before, so I'll call somebody that I think may have, and sometimes they have, sometimes they haven't. Sometimes they found stuff that works, sometimes they,
Right.
you know.
This is what I did
sorry.
that didn't work.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So.
Which sometimes is just as important.
You know, and I personally, I just feel like you can learn something from everybody. So
Yeah.
if somebody has an idea, I'll sure listen to it. you
Yeah.
know. But
Cool.
yeah.
So do you have a regular physical therapy routine or stretches exercise for all that bending over that you do all day long?
I don't. I should. Everybody's after me all the time.
Right.
I don't. I should stretch more. I know some guys do yoga. I've never done it, but
Because I imagine it's pretty hard on your body.
yeah, you know, you get sore.
Yeah.
But staying active, you know, just keep doing it every day. Your body gets into shape for it, just like anything. Not
Yeah.
that you don't get sore, but yeah, I don't know. Just stay in shape mostly. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's the guys that shoe their own or something. They're always like, I don't know how you can do this every day.
Right.
But if you only do it once a month or once every 2 months, yeah, it's pretty rough on you.
Right.
Instead of a guy that does it all the time. So.
Right. Depending on how many horses you have, too, I would imagine.
Yeah,
You
right.
could do one or two, but.
Well, yeah. Well, some guys do like a foot a day.
Oh,
You know?
that's it.
So, like my dad, that's about how far he does it.
Is
So-
that hard on a horse to have only like one shoe on at a time, or?
Oh, no, not unless
No,
they're
okay.
way off, you know, something's really long and you just
Yeah.
did 1 foot or something like that.
Okay.
But no, there's a lot of people that just do fronts on their horses, just do shoes on the front and trim the back.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that if their horse can take it.
Because what is it? 75% of the horse's weight are on their front two.
Yep,
Feet?
between 70 and 75 is on their front.
And so
feet.
that would be why to do the front two and not the back two.
Right. And some people just get by that way, you know, depending on what they're using them for.
Yeah.
If they're just riding them in the arena, a lot of times, they'll just do the fronts for traction more than anything. And every horse is different. Some horses take it, some horses don't.
Yeah.
So,
Right. And then some people don't put shoes on their horses at all.
yeah. So those are the naturalists, barefooters, I guess. And then when they go out and ride, they put easy boots on. It's a boot that goes on their foot. I'm not against the whole concept, but it's not for every horse. Is my deal. Plus, it depends on what you're using them for.
Right, and where they're riding.
Right. If you're herding cattle all the time, and every time you go through a bog, you got to get off and take your easy boots off and then ride through it. I mean, it's just not
Right.
economical, you know.
Yeah.
So, for people that just like to do pleasure trails and stuff, I don't see anything really wrong with it. As far as me, if I'm going to go in the woods, I'm just going to put shoes on, and then I don't have to worry about putting boots on and making sure
Right.
they fit, you know.
Because some of the logging roads around here that we ride on, that are retired logging roads, are pretty
Yeah.
rocky.
And you don't want to lose your boot in the creek or something
Right.
like that, you know.
Yeah.
And not that you can't lose a shoe, but just shoe them and then pack an easy boot with you in case
Right.
you throw a shoe. That's
Yeah.
what I would do. So,
And you can make a shoe out of duct tape, I hear.
yeah, you can kind of pad one up.
If you really needed
if you
to.
really have to.
Worst
Yeah,
case scenario.
You can just, you know, give them any kind of protection.
Uh-huh.
Would get you home anyway.
Yeah.
But the natural balance or the natural barefoot stuff, it's not a bad thing for your horses to go barefoot if you're not using them. I pull my shoes off in the winter when I'm not riding much.
Yeah. And that's what we
It's-
did with these guys.
And it's good for their